Just learn something new every day. So what we're going to do, Gavin, we're going to run you through my GPG process when we go to competition or we do a military training or do a law enforcement training. It'll work in any application. It's using the science of accuracy, using all our instruments and everything that we have available to us to accurately put a first round impact on target from 100 yards to 2 miles.
Whoa.
That's where it needs to be. And that's 10,590. Let's get some dirt. I mean, we're literally building the range too.
How's it look?
Looks great. Yeah, that's an easy shot.
All right, you get 27.
27.3 is what you told me.
Fine. I got Mirage left to right. Okay, are you ready, Gavin?
I'm ready.
All right, load and be ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Hey guys, Gavin Gear here from UltimateReloader.com. It's my honor to welcome Paul Phillips, world champion, King of 2 Mile champion, here to the channel. This is a fun story, don't you think?
Oh, that's awesome.
I was watching Eric Cortina's podcast, Believe the Target, and I see this guy, Paul Phillips, on there. And so I reach out to Eric and I say, who's this guy? Like, should I reach out to him? Because I want to do this whole ELR thing, you know? And he says, absolutely. So he facilitates the intro. Then we meet up at the SHOT Show and we cook up this plan to film this story, which is getting Gavin on target at 2 miles. What an odyssey this has been. Shooting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's been really good. It's been fun. Your house and area here is just amazing views.
Yeah.
And rock faces and just plentiful areas to shoot long range.
Yeah, it's been great to have you guys over. Real class act group of people here. So, you know, where this all started was, let's get this rifle built, right? And so it's been real helpful to have your reamer schematic. Talk to Manson Reamers about that. Got the exact reamer that you used for your 400 grain laser, 375 Accu-Tac load. I had a BAT EX action from a 50 BMG build. So I thought what I'll do is I'll get a bolt with a 375 bolt face and spin up a barrel. And now this Bartline barrel is kind of something special. This is, again, your formula.
Well, it's everything that we're doing in ELR, we've pretty much been taken from the U.S. rifle team days, where we had a lot of success shooting FTR rifle. So same kind of theory, same components, you know, bat actions, Bartline barrels, and the same kind of type of components, but then we just made it bigger, right? So this has been faring very well. Multiple King of 2 Mile championships and, you know, very high rankings in the world using these types of components. So, you know, why not use what's been working?
Yeah, absolutely. Accurate Rifle Systems chassis, Accu-Tac bipod. A couple things that are interesting about this Accurate Rifle Systems chassis. One is the elevation adjustment on the buttstock is really nice. I like the adjustable height butt pad, and also the forward bridge for this is a Charlie Tarak from TACOM HQ.
Yeah, when we shoot past probably 2,500 to 3,000 yards, it's required to have more elevation. So TACOM HQ makes a Charlie Tarak, and it can go up to like 800 minutes of angle. So we need to adjust that for what we need. It's all custom, tailor fit. So we wouldn't be able to shoot the distances out to 2 miles without this type of feature.
Yeah, and it's interesting how these work. I had no idea prior to this experience how these operated, but basically the idea is you're going to get a solid 100-yard zero or wherever you zero your rifle. This is adjusted to offset the angle that the scope is basically looking downrange by a certain number of minutes of angle or mils, whatever your units of preference are. So when you slap it on, if you've got it set to 100 MOA, it's going to just shift everything 100 MOA down, which brings your shots 100 MOA up.
Correct.
And so you can use it with and without, you know, your Prism or your Charlie, whatever you want to call that. And that's what it takes to get a shot on target at 2 miles. You got to take things to the next level.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not to give it away, but it performed very well.
Yes, absolutely. For the optic itself, we've got a Leupold Mark V HD, 5 to 25 by 56. This thing, I selected this because I saw someone from the King of 2 Mile. I was over on the Precision Rifle blog reading like what the pros use, which I saw your face on multiple times.
Yep.
And they picked this optic because of the elevation adjustment range. Called Leupold last minute, and they were great about getting one out for me in some rings and that kind of thing. And that worked really, really well. So Accu-Tac bipod, super solid. Once you showed me how to get everything nice and level and how you want to set up the rifle and how it should track, really, really, really stable. So then there was the load, right? And again, I had help here. Paul said, go straight to Peterson and get their 375 Chi-Tac brass. And so I got that. Went to Cutting Edge Bullets. We helped facilitate getting some 400 grain lasers. These things are really amazing. Super consistent. They've got this special sealing band on them. They're tipped, high BC.
Sure.
This thing's absolutely hammered.
Oh, yeah. Well, oddly enough, this is the same bullet and cartridge that we used in the 2017 King of 2 Mile Championship that we had the TV show on, and this is what we won with Derek Rogers.
Wow.
So actually it was very, very, very similar load that you shot. So.
Do you mind if I talk about the load?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we used H50 BMG from Hodgdon, and we had 142 grains. And what was interesting was when I went to sight in the rifle, this is what happened. I did a looking through the bore sight at 100 yards, got my first shot on paper, and then shots 2, 3, and 4 went into .480. So we're already sub half MOA with our first shots. Now, what was funny was things actually loosened up. We discovered later I had not checked my torque on the ring bases. So we did get that rectified before we went out to 2 miles, but at the last second.
Yeah, we did the buddy system. This is what we used to do in the U.S. rifle team. It's happened to everybody before. You get in a rush and you get sidetracked with things, but you should always double check all your fasteners and everything that with the rifle from head to toe. You need to double check everything, and we discovered it. So.
Do you use a lot of Loctite? I never asked you that.
I do. Yeah, okay. I use Loctite. Yep.
Blue Loctite?
Yep, blue Loctite. Yep.
You can get off fairly easily.
And I also, what I do is, we haven't discussed it too much with you and I, but we also do witness marks on the break, on the scope and rings, and the barrel and receiver, so that if you see something that looks out of spec and they don't line up, it's old school witness marks.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's super helpful.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, we've got a 400 grain projectile running about 2,975 feet per second. That's some energy.
Yeah, that's energy. And, I told you this before, in ELR, we're shooting so far that our environment is a huge factor. It can affect it more than the accuracy of the rifle, right? Now, we want to have the best shooting gun that we can possibly, and the best consistent, lowest SD that'll help us get to where we want to go. But ultimately, as we discovered, the wind and the environmentals play way more of a factor, and the ability to see the impact.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the location briefly. So one of the challenges for this type of a shoot is you really need a location that has a clear line of sight, to the target, obviously, and around it, hopefully enough where you can see your misses. The goal is to see a dirt cloud, basically.
Sure.
And so my friend Eric Peterson and I went coyote hunting, and he's like, hey, I know this spot out in the middle of the state here. And it turned out we were able to find, a place on public land that had drivability to the target backstop and to the firing line. Now, it takes a while, right? Because we had to backtrack a little bit and drive around. It could take an hour to set up the target, to verify with your spotters at the firing line that there's clear line of sight, that everything is right, and then get back to the firing line. And then, we had the waiting game. And you told me ahead of time, hey, if the conditions are right, we're off and running.
Yeah.
We're not going to wait,
Sure.
but we did have to wait for a while.
Sure. I mean, sometimes, the environment can change so fast.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to, test the rifle's capabilities, obviously the calmer it is and the less mirage is going to be better for us, right? But then sometimes you just offered, you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But if you're doing this as an exhibition and having fun and testing the capabilities of the rifle, the calmer and the less mirage is going to give us a better idea what the capabilities are.
Yeah. And so then you did the in-field briefing with me of the GPG formula, right? Global
Right.
Precision Group. That's
Yep.
Paul's training business.
Yep.
And it turned out that your teammate was there as well, Clay
Yes,
Roden.
yes.
That's the guy that started the Long Shot Camera
Right.
company. And so there we were. Paul's getting the Kestrel out, whipping it around, getting all the dope dialed in, and ultimately it was go time, right?
Right.
You're like, let's take some shots. So we're going to show you what happened there. Yep, we got it.
All right, and you're at 27 and 0.2.
27.3 is what
Okay,
you told
that's
me.
fine. Okay. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready, Daryl?
Got ears? 10 seconds.
Okay, I got Mirage left to right. Okay, are you ready, Gavin?
I'm ready.
All right, load and be ready. Okay, give me a nice center shot.
With no, just the 4.
Yeah.
Say
Hold
what?
Held, center, hold.
Yeah, you
All right.
aim center and squeeze.
Okay.
Yep.
Shooting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Bruce, you see anything? I did not. Over top?
I don't know, maybe. No splash. Aim at the bottom of the plate.
Bottom of plate.
Bottom of the plate. Hold on a second.
You guys with me?
Yeah, just hold on a second. You got 4 mils left?
4 mils left.
Okay. Send it.
And lining up. Bottom of plate.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I hear something just at the 7-second mark.
Yeah. I'm hearing it hit the dirt.
Yeah, but we can't see it. Yeah, I need to get closer.
Okay.
Yep. I can't see nothing. There's no signatures whatsoever. There's no plume. There's no nothing.
Okay, so at this point we're thinking, what is going on here?
Yeah.
We're not seeing anything.
Right. Yep.
So you came up with the idea of let's deploy a forward observer. We'll get a little closer so that maybe we
Sure.
can see from a different angle and closer,
Sure.
what's happening. And what was the first clue that you had that we were low?
Well, I saw a little bit of the trace, and
Okay.
I knew that our windage was good because the trace would just disappear in the sky,
Okay.
but it was going toward the target.
Yeah.
So I figured, well, we can either just start guessing and going down and up drastically to get in our little pad that we had to hit 2 miles away because it was just heavy vegetation and trees and high, tall grass above it
Yep.
and below it. We had to hit that little platform.
Right.
So rather than just start slinging lead and, burn your barrel up, we decided to stop, and then me and Clay went forward about 2,700 yards from the target in a safe area.
Right.
And then we observed from there, and we immediately picked it up low.
Getting into position here.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good Lord.
I think my eyes might have been playing tricks on me.
What?
Let me try that and send one more.
What's that?
It's insane.
Where do you think it went?
See the little bush down to the left?
Yeah?
Maybe.
Shooting.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Got it.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Low right.
Up.
Right at the tree line.
I
No.
show 2
2?
2?
at,
All right.
at the rifle.
Okay. Up 2.
Based on the reticle. All right.
Okay, so
We're at 29. I'm going to go to 30.3, 31.3. Okay.
And then left edge.
I don't know where you're looking.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to tell the wind angle from here, but
Left edge.
Should I send another one?
Yeah, hold left edge.
It looks like we need more wind. I'm going to dial another mil.
No, just shoot the same shot with the elevation.
Okay.
There it is.
Yep.
All right, we're on now. So mill it out. Hey, Gavin, mill that out, okay? You need to go up.
I'd say that was another. It looks like another mil up. We need to come.
up 2, left 1.
Well, we're in a different angle than you. You're gonna have to mill it out yourself. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go up another 1, and let's see if we can actually do that.
Okay.
Let's see. That's
You
10.
still need at least half a plate left.
Okay. Yep. I'm going to dial it up.
Left edge.
Yeah.
This is where you need to load and be ready and start hammering because we got good conditions and we need
Okay.
to walk it into the plate. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
All right, give me 20 seconds.
I'm going to send one.
Yeah. What is your wind right now?
2.5.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yep.
When you stay on the gun though and watch where your splash is and mill it out.
Okay.
Yep. 3, 4, 5, 6. There, you see it?
Nope.
One more.
You're gonna need to come up a
One more.
0.3, 0.4. No.
Okay.
0.4 up and then 1 mil left.
Okay.
Send it.
Okay.
It was at low right-hand corner of the plate. And be ready.
Bruce, are you catching him on camera now?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, top left corner.
Listen to me. No. Just aim for the top left corner and send it. Now. No. Top left corner and send it.
Okay.
Top left corner, send it. Good job. This should hit the plate.
Yeah, I think it went
Oh, a
through.
little high.
Yeah. Just aim a little lower.
Are you sure there's not a hole in the plate?
Impact.
Yeah, check the plate.
Listen, you impacted you went through the plate. So just send the same shot, top left corner. Can you tell where you hit on the plate?
It was above it. Oh, I see it.
You hit it.
Nice.
I'm trying to tell you, you hit it.
Yeah, I went
Okay, I'm
through
gonna
it.
hold off on wind to touch.
No, just aim for the top left corner.
Yep.
again.
Yeah,
See, you hit right there.
Tap the impact.
There it is, right there.
Now you hit on the other side.
2 in a row.
That was 1, that was 2.
Okay. Should I hold more wind then?
No, you're bracketing the plate right now. Do
Yeah.
half of whatever you did before.
Okay.
Listen, you need to mark the plate.
Already
and then
did.
aim accordingly. Aim for the same spot.
Okay, so the funny thing was, when I made my first impact at 2 miles, I didn't even know it. Bruce Tom, the owner of Bat Machine, was
Right.
like, "Hey, you hit it!" And I looked
Yeah.
over at the long shot display. I'm like, "Whoa, this is major. This is a lot harder than you think." A lot of guys, when they go to shoot at 1 mile, like novices, will burn up all their ammo. Hey, we weren't even close. Like,
Yeah.
it's a whole different game,
Sure.
right? And
Yeah.
2 miles is a lot harder than 1 mile,
Sure.
obviously. Every additional doubling of your distance gets
Sure.
exponentially harder, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have to adding devices to give us more elevation.
Yep.
We've got more wind, and the wind affects the bullet even more. The flight time, the visibility is a big deal.
Coriolis effect.
Coriolis, spin drift with,
Yep.
with the spin of the barrel.
Yeah.
So you have all that stuff, and the ballistics really become important. And it's even harder when you have a smaller area to where you can see the impact.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you might only have like, a mil or two of area you have to land the bullet in to
Right.
see an impact.
Yeah.
Because if it's heavy vegetation and trees and brush and grass, you'll never see it. So you really need to nail the ballistics in the wind to put it in that pad, even to get a chance to move it to the center to put it in the plate. So
And so that was a tremendous feeling. I had, I think, a total of 5 impacts at 2 miles. and there were 2 that were back to back, which felt really good, you know, to be able to do that. But we still had this lingering question, right? The lingering question of what was the issue? Why were we low? And there were two hypotheses you put forward. One could be we had the wrong BC of the bullet. Second was that the Charlie was perhaps not adjusted where we thought it was.
Correct. Yeah, it was either going to be, because I've had so much experience with these same components in this PDM or CDM, and I knew that we were going to be plus or minus a mil for that distance, right? Because we've done it before.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, maybe the CDM that we had in the Kestrel was maybe the wrong one, because they have some different models, or maybe this was not because we never checked it, we never verified it to see whether or not it was 100 minutes of angle.
Right.
So that was my 2 thoughts.
Yep. So today we actually went back and we did some validation. We took the Charlie off, we did some shooting, and we validated that the solution was correct.
Yep. That's good. Hit it! Nice! Right in the hole.
Nice.
Good job, dude.
And then we took this unit and put some marks on the wall 25 yards away and validated that, yes, it was off from where we thought it was. So
Yeah,
the moral of the
so-
story, I got to
yeah.
check this stuff,
Yeah.
right, before we go to anything major
For
or do
sure.
something like this.
But the big thing here, though, the big takeaway is that both of our rifles with different bullets were within a half a minute of angle. If you do the back math on and the impacts at 2 miles, the back math, they were both within a half minute of angle of the prediction. So this was the only discrepancy. It wasn't adjusted to 100 minutes, therefore, but where it impacted was exactly where it should have impacted with where where it was reading. So.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And we made 1 mile impacts that were centered around 13 inches,
Yep.
and we're just drilling that
Yeah.
today. So
And then Bruce, actually, the owner of Bat Machine, had a second round impact at 2 miles.
yeah,
Cold bore. The first one was dead center elevation, right like 3 minutes.
yeah.
And then we made a quick correction, he got an impact. Load and be ready. Load and be ready. Was that an impact?
I think so.
Impact.
Lower right hand corner? Is it lower right hand corner?
I think either that or the right edge.
Right edge.
Looks like a divot on the right edge.
That's the impact.
Yeah.
Now aim left edge and send it. Left edge and send it. That just goes to show you that these rifle systems and the barrels and the actions and the scopes and the bullets and everything that we have today in our era, they really truly are amazing.
Yeah.
You know, everything has to be perfect.
Yes.
And also with Applied Ballistics, the solutions, it really works in the Kestrel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. But you have good information in
Yep.
and good information out.
One thing I would change, if we could somehow magically change it, would be to either run all minutes or all mils. Because we spent a lot of time with the iPhone
Yeah.
calculator
Yeah,
converting,
yeah,
because
yeah.
this was spec'd in
Yeah.
minutes,
Well,
and
yeah.
then I have a mil. I always shoot mils. It's just what I shoot.
Sure.
You know?
No, you're right. And what I would suggest to people that are shooting, they have hunter groups and you have competition groups, whatever. Just make sure your team's on all the same stuff. It's just a different language,
Yeah.
right? Different form of measurement, different form of communication. But as long as your team's on the same page, it works a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we still got through it.
Oh, it was amazing. This
Yeah.
this is everything I could have dreamt about, and it's been a long process. So I want to thank you for all of the input. You've helped with some of the industry connections. You've helped guide me with some of the formulas, the load data, the twist rate on the barrel, literally everything. And it's really great to be able to be fast-tracked like that.
Sure.
So actually, if you're thinking about ELR or even practical hunting, shooting, tactical shooting, where should people go for that?
Just go to gpgtraining.com and send me a message.
Awesome. And some additional thank yous. So Precision Matthews, this lathe did an absolutely outstanding job chambering the barrel, threading the muzzle. Accurate Rifle Systems provided the chassis. Longshot, we should talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
We couldn't have done what we did without Longshot.
Absolutely. anything long range, well, any distance really. I mean, the aid of cameras and video and all the things that they offer, the products, the Hawk and the long shot cameras, we cannot do the sport without it.
Right.
You have to have video and you have to have evidence of what we're doing, and it's just you have to have it.
Well, you made a great point when we were standing by the target. I didn't realize this, but the flashers.
Right.
if you're skipping off the ground and then the bullet ricochets or a rock or whatever hits the target, they will give you a false positive.
Yeah, it could be a keyhole, ricochet. It could be rocks hitting the target, whatever. But on video, it doesn't lie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it provides a real-time experience that's really hard to articulate, because I'm looking at our target right next to my face, and I can very clearly see where all the bullet holes. So we were marking them in sequence. We were using the blinker function. You know, a real game changer there. Okay, so yeah, we're seeing some thank yous here. Peterson cartridge, like, just this is what you want for this kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean they make great brass, and you know, all the SDs that we've been comparing notes have been very, very low. That means that the quality of the brass is very consistent.
Yeah.
And you know,
less than 5 feet per second SD easily.
Yeah.
So
that's what's required to do the ELR game.
Yeah.
You know, if you have velocities, we had velocities of 20 feet per second, it was over the top of the target.
Yep.
So if you have a very single-digit SD, was what we like to call in the ELR world, you can get those multiple impacts at long ranges.
It's really eye-opening, like seeing it unfold in front of your eyes. These cutting-edge lasers, absolutely amazing. Like,
they have a lot of wins. They have I don't know for sure, but I'm willing to bet that they probably have more ELR wins than any other bullet.
Yeah. And H50 BMG, we were both running this powder. You were using burger bullets, I was using cutting-edge bullets, and we both had tremendous, you know, results there.
Sure.
So, you know, Loophole, Scope did an awesome job. TACOM HQ with the Charlie Tarak, really class act, you know, group of people for the event, and then obviously the components and the gear. And you just, you can't cut corners, right, when you're going to do this kind of thing. You have to have the right stuff.
Absolutely. No, I mean, you know, it's nice. We kind of fast-tracked you, but it took several years of trial and error and competing and traveling the world doing this to kind of learn what works the best.
Yeah.
And it was nice to, you know, literally we built the gun. I mean, for my gun, I got off the plane, we assembled it, got 100 yards zero. It was within a quarter minute of angle.
Crazy.
And then we went and shot 2 miles and had a second round impact.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just how crazy.
Yeah.
And then same thing with you. We got 100 yards zero, and then you went, of course, a little deviation. But once we figured out the back math, it was money. And then today we went to shoot 1 mile, and we were right on within a half minute of the target.
Yeah, if it was a 36 by 36, we would have been on.
You would have been peppering the plate right
target.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So super stuff. I encourage you, if you're dreaming about shooting ELR, even if you can't afford a rifle like this, do something. Do a 300 Norma mag. Get your legs out to further distances and find a good mentor. We mentioned gpgtraining.com. I'm excited to announce that we're doing a separate video that I'm going to have here on the channel that basically gives you the 101 level run through of what Paul does with his clients and what you do when you're doing your King of 2 Mile stuff, right?
Sure. And I'll say this, you know, a lot of times we talk about ELR, but it's not just ELR. It's the entire process for hunters, law enforcement snipers, military snipers, competitive shooters, and enthusiasts. The same process works for everything.
Yeah. Love it. Yeah. Okay. So I would love to know, what do you think about the rifle I built and the 2 mile feet that we were able to pull off in this video? Drop a comment and we'll join you down there in the comment section. Thank you again, Paul, for joining me. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching Ultimate Reloader on TV and want to take advantage of free resources, exclusives, and hot deals, just hold your camera phone up to the QR code, tap on the link, fill out the information, boom, you're getting Ultimate Reloader emails. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. Thanks again for watching.